Hello guys, welcome to Piping Engineers. In today's video, we will learn about the pump head loss calculation. We will learn how the head loss for a pump is calculated, what are the various terms involved in the pump head loss calculation, and at the end with the help of a pump curve, I will tell you the impact of head loss on various terms of the pumps. So for more updates and videos, please like, follow and subscribe to our channel. So let's begin our today's video and learn about the pumps. So guys, what is a pump? Pump you all would have seen in your day-to-day life. A pump is a mechanical device that is used to move fluids, solid waste, chemicals, slurries by mechanical action. So a pump basically does the thing, it transports a fluid from one place to another. So pump has two important components in it. One is your flow and another is head. So what is flow? Flow tells the amount of fluid to be pumped. So it tells the quantity that is to be pumped from one place to another. And what is head? Head tells the extent to the or the distance to which we want our fluid to be exported. So suppose if we want to design a pump or we want to select a pump, we will be requiring two components, that one will be our flow and another will be our head. So suppose if we need a pump for a system, we will be requiring, say we will require a pump 15 meter cube per hour at 30 meter water column head. So 15 meter cube per hour will be the flow that the pump will be transporting from one place to another, and 30 meter water column will be the head or the discharge pressure at the discharge flange of the pump. So based on the operating principle, there are two types of pumps. One is dynamic pump and another is displacement pumps. If we talk about the requirements in the industry, about 80 to 90% of the pumps that are used in the industry are dynamic pumps. They are further classified as centrifugal pumps, vertical centrifugal pumps, submersible pumps. So dynamic pumps, they are very cheap, both from a maintenance point of view and from capex point of view. Their maintenance is very easy and maintenance cost requirement is very less. Also their spare parts cost is very less, and basically not a skilled operator is required for their both for operation and maintenance. Next is your displacement pumps. Displacement pumps are, you can call, special types of pumps. If you want to pump some special fluid, like if you want to pump coal tar or a slurry that is having high viscosity, or having some specific properties that are to be pumped from one place to another, we use displacement pumps. Commonly used displacement pumps are your gear pumps, piston pumps, lobe pumps. These are the basic types of pumps that are used in industry in case of displacement pumps. So this is a centrifugal pump which I have shown here. Centrifugal pumps are basically of two types. One is front suction and top discharge, and another is having this side suction, and parallel to side suction we are having a discharge parallel to it. This is your submersible pump. So basically what a submersible pump is, submersible pump, in this pump our motor and impeller both are enclosed in this spherical casing, and this casing, it is completely submerged in water, hence its name is submersible pump. Next, this is your lobe pump. These are lobes, and the fluid is pumped with the help of these lobes. So this is a positive displacement pump. So moving on to next. So what is a pump head? So guys, what is a pump head? Pump head refers to the pressure that is generated at pump discharge flange. So it is the pressure, it is the maximum pressure after shut off head that a pump will be generating, and it will be generated at the discharge head of the pump. This pressure is basically calculated by this static head, static suction head, and static discharge head, and by adding the frictional loss that will be accumulating in my system. So when we add these three things, it is known as total dynamic head. This static head, static lift and frictional loss, the summation, it is known as total dynamic head, or the total head that will be developed by the pump at the discharge flange. So what is this static height? Static height is basically, it is the maximum elevation of discharge pipe in piping network. So suppose the maximum height I want to take, that my pipe will go or my fluid will go, this is known as my static height in my discharge section from the center line of the pump. So this is my static discharge height or static height, which is shown here. Next is static lift. Static lift can be both positive as well as negative. If my pump is having negative suction, my static lift will be negative. Suppose my pump is having suction like this and my tank is somewhere placed like this, so it will be the height of suction is below the center line of the pump, so my static lift will be negative. But in case it is shown here positive, because the height of tank is above the height of pump center line. And next is frictional loss. So frictional loss, it is the loss which will be occurring inside the pipings and occurring inside various fittings that will be present across the piping. So this is my frictional loss. So the head loss basically depends upon the fluid viscosity, pipe diameter, pipe length, and accessories such as walls, elbows, and change in elevation within the pipe work. So what happens if my velocity is very small, if my velocity is very low, so my pipe size will become big and my losses will be very less. But vice versa, if my as per DRC Westbeck also, FLV square is equal to 2GD. So there is a relation of inverse relation of velocity and frictional loss. So if my velocity is very high, so pipe size will be less and hence the frictional losses will be more. So if the number of fittings are increased in my piping network, again the head loss will increase. So all these things leads to high head loss. So while calculating the head loss, we have to consider static suction lift, static discharge, head, and all the frictional losses. By accumulating all these things and considering all these factors, we calculate the total head that will be generated by the pump or total head that is required at our system. So moving on to next, this is the pump head loss formula for hydrology. Basically, Hazen-Williams formula is used in industries for pump head loss calculation. So what this Hazen-Williams formula is, basically there are two types of losses. One is your major loss and another is your minor loss. Minor loss is occurs your fittings, all your elbows, all your walls, and entry loss and exit loss, that is your minor losses, and the major head loss that is occurred in my main pipe length is my major loss. So what's the formula? It's 6.815 into L. L stands here for the length of the pipe, that is the total piping length of my pipe of my network. V stands for the pipe velocity, that is in meter per second. C is Hazen-Williams coefficient. Hazen-Williams coefficient, it is generally taken as 100 for MS pipes, 1 to the power 1.852 into 1 by D to the power 1.167. D is inner diameter of pipe. So basically many of the people, they commit some mistake here. They take D as the OD or they take D as the nominal dia. But this is not true. While calculating the pipe head loss, pump head loss, we have to take this D as inner dia, because ultimately my fluid will be flowing inside the pipe. So this D is inner diameter of the pipe. So next is minor losses. What are the minor losses? N is the number of fittings. Basically the number of items that will be that will be present in my line, that is N, that is the quantity of fittings. K is friction factor, and the value of this K as per Hazen-Williams, it varies for things like zero point 0.5 is for reducers, 0.75 for bends, for 0.35 for gate walls, 2.5 for NRV. So it changes for system to system. V is again velocity, v to the power v square, and 1 by 2g. G is our acceleration due to gravity. So while calculating the pump head loss as per Hazen-Williams formula, we calculate this major losses in our suction side, discharge side, plus the minor losses in suction side and discharge side, and also we add our static head if any. When we add these three things, as per we calculate the total head loss across the system, and as per this total head loss, our pump head is selected by taking a margin of 5 to 10% depending upon designer to designer. So if suppose your pipe routing is not fixed yet, so we take a margin of 5 to 10% so that our pump can is adequate and our pressure at our TOP point or our required point is available as per the system requirement. So this is the formula. So let's now move on to a slide in which I'll be showing you a pump characteristic curve, and let's see how a pump characteristic curve is seen. So this is a typical pump characteristic curve. In this we have, on this x-axis this is your flow, and on this y-axis this is your head. So this yellow marked is your operating point though. So suppose my pump, it is being operated at 250 meter cube per hour, and at 250 meter cube per hour the head available is approximately 85. So what happens, as my flow changes, there is a variation in head also. So if my head changes to 100 meter cube per hour, so my head will again increase. It is, see, if you can see here, the head is going more than 85. So at 85 meter water column, so this is my power curve. So at 85 meter water column, it is cutting it somewhere here. So my power requirement will be, my pump will be around 75 kilowatt. And what will be the efficiency at this flow and head? It will be around, again it will be around 75 to between 75 and 80% somewhere. And again, what will be the NPSHR, which we have discussed in our yet another video, what is NPSHR and what is NPSHA. So NPSHR requirement will be around 2.1 or 2.2. So if we plot all these curves, flow is plotted against a particular head, and accordingly a pump is selected, and depending upon that selection are all the factors like pump power requirement, effectivity of the pump, and NPSHR also varies. So this is basically how a pump typical curve is read. And so I hope guys you would have learned that how pump head loss calculation is done, what are the various terms involved in it, and how do we calculate certain factors, and with the help of it how do we select the pump head. So for more updates, please like, follow and subscribe to our channel. So guys, thank you for watching the video. Thanks a lot.